Hi, this is Tim Dial, and I'm with Nexa Mortgage, and I'm putting this video together really quickly because this is probably one of the most exciting things that I've been a part of that is just going to be incredible, not only for us, but for our partners, especially our real estate partners or realtors. And that's why I'm putting this together. Right now, I'm putting this together, it's just before Christmas. That's why I've got this Christmas background going, but you may not be watching it until some point after Christmas or something like that, which is fine. But I wanted to put this together. It's probably going to take me 15 to 20 minutes to go through this because it is an actual presentation. I want it to be very informative, but then also concise, and try not to take too much time at the same time. So what I remember though is I got my start as a realtor myself, and what I remember about that period of time is that I would go and I would do marketing, I would produce a customer, I would then send that customer my lending partner. They would get them pre-approved, they'd be very appreciative, thank you so much, I'll take good care of them. We would get them cleared to close eventually and get to a closing. Everything was fine and happy, but the difference is that they would never get me anything in return. I never got any customers from them or any leads from them. It was all about me providing to them, and it was a very one-sided relationship. And so this program called the Business Development Program is taking that and completely flipping it and making it so that realtors and our other partners can get paid for their marketing efforts. And then if they want to, they can take that money and put that back into their business and then grow exponentially. That's the idea behind it. So it is an incredible program. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to go through this. It is like a short 7-slide presentation that I'm going to go through here, and it'll take me just a moment to get that pulled up. So you should be able to see that up on the screen here right now. And so anyway, this is going to be a brief overview of our business development program here at Nexa Mortgage. We just developed this program. They've been in the works for several months trying to put this together and go into the regulators and make sure we were doing everything on the up and up and there was nothing illegal about it. They've gone through all of that kind of stuff over the past 6 to 9 months, I think it has been. It is a new program. I've been through 3 trainings so far. When I'm putting this video together, I've been through 3 trainings on it so far myself because I wanted to make sure I understood it completely and the benefits of it, and they also made a few changes here and there over the past couple of weeks. So I wanted to go through that and make sure that I could present it in a way that made sense to our partners and that you would be able to understand it fully. Now I've gone through these trainings, I'm super excited about how it can help us grow our business together, and that's the key here. I've already been doing a lot on my own to help my realtor partners by providing outstanding tools like list reports, home report, key steps, those are some of the things that I'm going to get into here shortly. Just a second here, call coming in, and it's my old friend Spam Likely. But anyway, those are some of the tools that I provide. I pay for those things so that my partners get to utilize them for free. There's co-branding involved there, but you get to utilize them for free, and they're wonderful tools for both you and the customers. And so that's something that I'm already doing, and I already take funds from my own income, put that into a growth and marketing ledger, which I'll get into later too, and that allows me to pay for some of these things that are basically pre-tax. So the great thing about this program is that it can work extremely well alongside these programs that I already have in place and I'm already using and my partners are already utilizing. You can utilize these things that I already have in place to participate in this program and get paid from the actual funds produced on the mortgage side, which is incredible. So currently most people in the industry, especially realtors, are already engaged in many aspects of marketing to pick up new business. If you're in the real estate industry, you're probably spending $1,000 or more a month on marketing and some of the other stuff that you're doing to try to pick up customers. That's web promotion, social media marketing, possibly even some print marketing that you're doing, things like that. You're already spending money on those things. Or maybe you aren't spending much on marketing at all, but you've got a very referral based business, but you'd like to increase your marketing efforts to get more business outside of your referral partner or outside of your referral business. And this is going to allow you to put more money in your pocket that you can either use for extra marketing or that you can pay for some of the tools that you have to pay for. This program is designed to reward you for your efforts, provide you with a lot of extra money to use toward increasing your marketing efforts and increasing your business exponentially if that's something that you want to do. You basically just keep doing what you're doing, especially if you're referral based, keep doing what you're doing and market and make sure you're utilizing the tools provided to you to do the co-branding. If you start using the co-branded flyers, the list report stuff that's available to you, there's also open house flyers and an open house sign-in sheet that's co-branded, a lot of this co-branded stuff, and then the Key Steps app, which is incredible, and that's also co-branded. That helps people build their credit score so that they can buy if their credit score isn't good enough. It also helps them manage their finances, and it has a wonderful home search tool that's co-branded. It's completely self-contained, so that way their information isn't being sold to other people. So it is a better way to go than them using like Credit Karma or Rocket Money or going to Zillow or Redfin or Homes.com or something like that, because all of those different companies sell their information and they get spammed. With this, it's completely self-contained. The only people who will get any information about anything they're doing is us. If they're searching for properties, we get to see they're searching for properties. If their credit score improves, it tells us their credit score is improved. So it's really cool as far as that goes. And so basically you're able to utilize these tools that I've already made available that I pay for, and you get paid for the co-marketing that you're doing whenever you produce a new customer. Whenever we close a transaction together, you're going to get paid by Nexa Mortgage for your marketing efforts, 22 basis points per transaction to begin with, and there is a possibility we could get that up to 44 basis points per transaction, which I'm going to get into here shortly. So I'm doing this differently than any other loan officer, which is a huge advantage of getting set up with me. Even though you start out at 22 basis points, once your office is averaging a minimum of 3 deals per month for 2 consecutive months, I'm going to switch all the BDMs from your office that are signed up with me. I'm going to switch them all to 44 basis points on each transaction, so they'll get to double their production at that point. I'd like everyone set up at 44 basis points if possible, but it has to make sense. The only way it makes sense is if volume increases enough for it to make sense, because all of that 44 basis points is what's really coming out of my pay in a way. I make 44 basis points less that I could put back into my business if I wanted to, and as a result you can put that into your business to produce more clients. And just some of the examples here, you're looking at, on a $300,000 loan, you're looking at $660 to $1,320 going direct deposited into your bank account after we close that transaction. So, it's incredible. It increases customer loyalty and satisfaction. The other thing too is that once we close a loan together, if you're connected to me on list reports, then customers are automatically going to get a home report every month that's co-branded, and we're going to stay in front of them every month. If they decide to sell and buy something later, then they're going to go with us. I'm definitely fine with making less on every transaction if I'm able to increase the volume by doing so. This allows my partners to make more money on every transaction as well, and then you can utilize that because you're the front end of building customers. So you can utilize that to increase your marketing efforts, create more customers for both of us, and it makes a lot of sense. This means that it will make sense for those that sign up as BDMs to also let others from your office know about the program. The more production from your office, the faster it is to ramp up to the 44 basis points and to maintain that production level, and the likelihood is that production level is going to increase and will never go back to the 22 basis points at any point in the future. So definitely makes sense. The one thing that realtors are doing is, whenever you do get paid, say, gosh, I just received, $1,300 from this business development management program. And then the other realtor is going to be like, really? How'd you do that? Just explain to them how. Say, if you'd like to get set up with it, then then let me know and we can get that person set up as well. It's a pretty simple process. I already take part of the money I make from transactions. I put that, like I said, into a growth and marketing ledger. It allows me to expense things pre-tax, things that I pay for, like list reports, home report, key steps, MBS highway, Facebook advertising, and other social media marketing that I utilize for my virtual homebuyer seminars, which is something that I do every month to try and pick up new customers. If I do pick up a customer from those seminars, I send those to whatever partner I'm working with in whatever location that person is looking to purchase. These tools I'm already paying for makes it much easier for you to get paid as a business development manager, because all you have to do is utilize those same tools to help market me through our co-branding. My goal is to make less on every deal, but to increase volume exponentially. I have the capacity to utilize more processors and loan officer assistants to meet the extra capacity as we grow the business. The first step in the process is to go to our Why BDM Thursday Zoom meeting. This will allow you to find out more details about the program, ask any questions. If you're going to be on the meeting, let me know and I will be in the meeting as well. This meeting happens every Thursday, except for things like holidays, like we didn't have a meeting on Thanksgiving. We won't have a meeting on Christmas Day because that also falls on a Thursday. But outside of the holidays, we have this meeting every Thursday. Once you let me know you want to go to the meeting, I will send you a registration link so that you can register and receive the Zoom link. Once you register, you'll automatically receive the Zoom link. The reason I do it this way is because if you're going to be on the meeting, I want to be on there as well. And sometimes we can chat back and forth as the meeting's going on to go over some things that they're talking about. But at the same time, part of the idea of the meeting is that you're also able to ask them questions. If you have any questions, we want to make sure we get those questions answered on the front end. You will become a W-2 business development manager of Nexa Mortgage. We'll get you set up with our every payroll system. That way you're set up for direct deposit. Once we close a loan that you're connected to, you will get paid at the same time I get paid on that transaction, usually within about a week. There's a report that will take about 5 minutes to complete once per month. That's going to come from the administrator of the program. They send out this report every month. You complete that. It takes about 5 minutes. And it's basically just you describing the marketing efforts and what you did. You say, I went to this open house and provided co-branding to the people who came. Used the open house co-branded sign-in sheet. I got this many people set up for the co-branded Key Steps app. These are the things I did to market Tim Dial as a business development manager. When I get a new customer set up in our origination system, which is called Arrive, I basically just put a note in their file on the front end that shows you as the business development manager. When that loan closes, you get paid the same time I get paid, and it's based on whatever contract we have in place. So it's going to start out at that 22 basis points. It'll say 25 basis points, but there is a 12% fee that comes out. So that actually drops it to 22. That's why I say it's 22 basis points. The fee that comes out is basically for some taxes and stuff like, I think it's like Social Security tax or something. So anyway, it's 22 basis points. And then, like I said, once we have done 3 deals from your office, 2 consecutive months, we'll switch it. We'll do a new business development contract for 44 basis points. And once we complete that 44 basis points contract, then from that point forth, you'll make 44 basis points per transaction. So you get to double that. And that's pretty incredible as well. My goal is to make this as easy and as least time consuming as possible, which is why I already have all these outstanding tools that I make available to help with the marketing efforts. The more we produce together, the more you're going to make as a business development manager, and the more funds you're going to have available for marketing in the future. My goal is to get you extra money so that you can utilize that extra money to produce more customers that hopefully will come back to me. That's the key here. If you're concerned about compliance and RESPA violations, things like that, don't be. Our owner, Mike Cortez, has already gotten approval for this program through the federal regulators, and he has also gotten almost every state in the country to get on board with it and to approve it as well. The only state we cannot do this in is Arizona. I am not licensed in Arizona, so that doesn't make a difference to me. I don't do business in Arizona anyway. Even though loan officers can't pay referral fees to realtors, we can pay for someone to market us as a business development manager employee. So this makes a lot of sense because realtors should be able to get paid for their marketing efforts if they're the ones on the front lines bringing in the customers, right? That makes a lot of sense. And especially if they're marketing us and that's allowing us to do more business from those customers. There are other lenders and brokers doing something similar, but all the other companies are requiring the realtor to obtain and keep a mortgage license for their state, which is more complicated and expensive. With those companies, they pay you as a loan officer. It's a similar number of basis points, but based on just obtaining the loan application and initial documentation on the front end. So they have a more complicated system. It's more difficult because you have to get that documentation and loan application. And it's also more expensive because you have to keep your license up. You have to do your continuing ed every year. Just as an example, I'm licensed in 8 states. And this year I spent over $1,400 for my renewal. I spent another, another like 150 or so on my continuing ed. So that's just an example of expenses that you're not going to have to pay for because we're not going to require you to get a loan officer license. We actually don't want you to. Why not get paid handsomely for the activities you're already doing to bring in customers? All you have to do is include co-branded materials in your marketing efforts and on social media. Something else that I have available is I've worked with this company called Authorify previously, and I can produce co-branded materials that you can hand to buyers that are like basically home buyers guide pamphlets and things like that. There's also a mortgage terms glossary. There's some stuff like that that you can hand to people. That's a hard thing that you hand that's co-branded. I can produce those. I'm not doing that right now yet. I've done it in the past, but if we get the production level up enough, then I will probably add that at some point in the future, and that way you'll have this stuff to hand. And it's only for those realtors who would like to have that. But it is pretty cool to have some hard materials that are co-branded that you can hand people that give information about the loan process and information about mortgage terms and that kind of stuff. Things to do and things not to do as you're trying to go from pre-approval to closing on a house. I can provide you with registration link to the BDM meeting on Thursday, and then just let me know which Thursday you're going to attend. We can be on that call together to make sure you understand everything, make sure we get all of your questions answered. The BDM meeting is always the first step in the process because I want to make sure that you know everything you need to know about the program before we get started in the onboarding process, and I want to make sure we get all of your questions answered on the front end. Here on this page is my contact information, and the dialmortgagecoach.com website is where my buyers or my people who want to buy go to register for my home buyers seminar that I hold monthly. I am not doing one in December because of the holidays, but I do it pretty much every other month of the year. My virtual home buyer seminars have been producing buyers for me pretty regularly, so I love doing that for people, getting them a lot of information on the front end, and then a lot of those people I get on the app, and I start working with them to bring their credit score up if their credit score is not good enough. Here's also a list of states I'm licensed in, so if you have someone moving out of state, you can still get paid 22 to 44 basis points if you send them over. So here's the way that scenario would work. You have somebody who, let's say they're selling a house, you sell their house here, wherever your location is, you sell their house, you get paid for selling their house, you refer them to a realtor in the other state, and that realtor is going to pay you, like, say 25 or 30 basis points to help them find a house to purchase there. Additionally, if you send them to us and they're buying in one of the states I'm licensed in, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan. If they're buying in one of those states, then when I close that loan, you're still going to get paid as a business development manager, even though you're not the realtor that worked it. So you're the person who provided that customer, and that customer came from your marketing efforts. That's why you can still get paid on it. So that's how that works. Anyway, thanks for watching the whole presentation. I do look forward to building a great working relationship that puts extra money in your pocket and helps us grow business together. I'm also going to include a flyer that gives a little bit of more information about me. Nexa Mortgage is the largest wholesale broker in the country. We absolutely destroy all the retail lenders when it comes to rates. They can't compete with us. And we also have better programs and products and down payment assistance and things like that that I'm utilizing every day to get people into homes. I also have a system in place called the Extreme Loan Process, and through that process, it's going to keep you up to date with what's going on with the loan as we go from start to finish, to make sure you know exactly what's happening. Every time we move it forward, you're going to get a message about what happened. So it's going to say, the appraisal's back or whatever, and then we're going to keep you in the loop every step of the way until we get to the closing. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to cover. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. But if you do want to get on that next BDM meeting that happens on Thursdays, then certainly let me know, and I will send you the registration link, as that is the next step. So I do appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.